This is Chuck Schaefer of HCM TV, and I am joined by Carrie Schuler, CEO of C-Factor. Carrie, thank you for joining me today.
Well, my pleasure, Chuck. Happy to be here.
Carrie, let me start off our conversation by asking you to describe your workforce management solution and also identify what is the business opportunity that's enabled or the business problems that are solved.
Happy to do that. So at C-Factor, we have a socially infused HR technology platform that really is all about putting the employee at the center of the system so that it's a system that really supports what they're trying to do, not only from connecting with their colleagues, driving productivity through socially infused processes that put the right experts and information at the fingertips of the employee just in time when they need it most.
You know, you use the term socially infused. What does that mean? How are you taking advantage of social media or social technologies in this type of application?
Yeah, we've looked at social as a very core element to the day-to-day work of an employee. So what you often see is people will experiment with social technologies. They'll deploy a standalone maybe idea site or a standalone social network site. But really what we're all about is looking at the best that social media has to offer and infuse that directly into processes, things like onboarding, even pre-boarding, even before the employee's first day. We're driving automated socially infused processes that make a good first impression with a new employee.
You know, let me continue that with another popular disruptive technology, and that's mobile. Mm-hmm. We're seeing mobility being introduced to HCM software in many ways. How is workforce management taking advantage of new mobile technologies?
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that mobile plays into HCM solutions. First and foremost, the ability to drive tasks and notifications to any device, anytime, any place. So really making the HR system smart enough so that the employee can use their device of choice, but still do productive work, connect with their colleagues, exchange ideas, get work done, irrespective of what particular device they're using.
And finally, I got to hit one more disruptive technology, and that's the cloud.
Yeah.
And software as a service. Workforce management systems are not in mainstay in the cloud yet, but you're pioneering that effort. What are the benefits of delivering or consuming workforce management from a cloud or software as a service solution?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, we've really architected our solution from the core to be a web-friendly native solution that takes advantage of software as a service model to deliver not only the current state functionality, but enable rapid deployment of upgrades, new functionality. Staying on the cusp of emerging technologies is much easier when you're deploying through a software as a service model and pushing that out to your customer base so they can consume the value of that sooner in the evolution of these new technologies.
You know, in the HCM technology space, it seems as though certain applications, and I'll use talent management as an example, are getting a lion's share of the media and press. But in my discussions with business leaders, workforce management is high on the agenda. Is it your impression that workforce management is incurring the same pace of change as, say, something like talent management?
I think definitely the opportunity is there to drive significant evolution in the current state of workforce management technologies. For example, the idea of infusing social technologies into a hire process or a compensation process or more traditional HR functions can still drive real tangible benefits. Things like putting an expert. You're doing an annual merit increase process, for example. You can put a compensation expert right on that process. So when a manager has a question about a compensation change, they can ask real time through the system, get an answer, and even publish that back into communities or social tools so that other people can find that information to serve their own answers. We have customers that have deployed this shared service model using the latest real-time collaboration and social tools to drive significant dollar savings and a better employee experience.
You know, I'm finding applications such as these are often adopted more so by some industries than others, and by organizations that typically are larger than smaller. Where do you think we are in terms of crossing a chasm for mainstream adoption of workforce management solutions?
Yeah, definitely we're seeing, with the cloud and with SaaS solutions, the ability to deploy these solutions to smaller organizations is much more prevalent than it was before. So the value that was typically held for larger enterprise deals is now coming down market so that mid-tier or mid-sized organizations can actually accrue a lot of value from these systems using this software as a service type of approach.
So the cloud is making it easier to procure, deploy, and consume for small and mid-sized business enterprises.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
Very good. Are there other disruptive technologies that you're taking advantage of and pioneering and developing and offering to your customers?
Yeah, really the way we look at this is we take the latest emerging web-based technologies to recraft the employee experience. So everything we do, we're really passionate about it at C-Factor is putting the employee right at the center of the equation. So whether it's the right kind of information, analytics, whether it's process automation in the true sense from end-to-end process automation, whether it's folding in real-time collaborative tools, the social element that we've talked about, really looking at all those different aspects to deploy them in a smart way that impacts the day-to-day work that an employee is doing. And when we do that effectively, we see adoption that's very significant across the organization. They want to use these tools, they make their work life easier, and we see 90% adoption in some of our client situations with this type of an approach.
90%, that's impressive.
Thank you.
What advice would you offer to the HCM or business leader that's about to deploy a workforce management solution?
Good question. I think what a lot of people feel is that other players in the space take more of a full spectrum approach, that you have to replace all your existing systems in favor of their platform. We really look at it differently, and we've had a lot of success with actually allowing companies to keep those systems in place that are working well. If payroll system is working well, you don't want to disrupt your organization by trying to replace that. What we do is actually go in and match the specific initiative that a customer has with this type of technology, this next generation technology. So you can really get started with a smaller subset of functionality, prove out the value, and build out from there.
Very good. If we look forward just a couple years, how do you suspect that this industry is going to evolve or change?
Well, I think it's definitely going to be about the employee. Traditionally HR systems were more about the back office, more about automating process, and more about a few power users. We're really talking about broad-based adoption across global organizations, where an employee can choose whatever device they want, connect with their employees anywhere in their organization, get work done with the best that technology has to offer.
Excellent. And with that insight, I think we're at a good break point to conclude our conversation. This is Chuck Schaefer. I've been joined by Carrie Schuler, CEO of C-Factor. Carrie, thank you very much for joining me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.